Howdy.
Anybody behind you?
No way.
I've got the move. I know what move we should make.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking, okay, you can take a seat. I've been thinking about it all night. Because you know how I'm really paranoid about the double.
Yeah.
And if we win, being forced, not forced, but putting up the two boys flat out and the backlash of it. Here's my idea.
Okay.
If we win, put up Brayden and Beth. We tell Brayden we have the votes to keep him, but he has to gun for it. Kind of just say nothing to Beth at the time. That ensures that we didn't lie to the boys. We said we wouldn't put them up, which we haven't. Either one of them comes down. We choose which boy we want out to go.
Yeah. That
way we can salvage the other one. If for some reason noms say the same, bye-bye Beth. If the boys win double, they're not coming for us because we didn't put them up. And we can always tell Brayden, because we would for sure have the votes for Brayden. Me, you, Ro, Vic will not vote out Brayden over Beth. Never. And if one of the boys gets backdoored.
Is this at that, say, for instance, if one of us win HOH this week?
This week.
Next week, different story. So if we don't get it this week and we get it next week and we're still here.
This way, worst case scenario, say Jen or Ty get picked for veto when they win. We can be like, look man, don't use it, don't make us, we didn't want to, if you use it, then we're forced to say the other name just because of the houses. And
I wouldn't even say that.
Well, no, we'd be like, that's what the house wants, and that's going to make us look super shady. Just don't use it. And then worst case, if Beth goes, they don't have that number of Brayden. We need to dismantle the Beth and Brayden number that they think they have. And that would ensure that there would be no flopping around with the vote either. If Beth pulls herself down, you know that people will keep Brayden over whatever boy is sitting next to him.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
And you can ensure to Brayden, look, trust we have the numbers to protect you. And it's an easy out, he doesn't talk game to us. And if for some reason, if Beth comes off, because of the big ladies, we can be like, we needed you to come off. It was always the plan to get one of the boys out. We know you can't do it. And now nobody will suspect that we're together. I think it's the smarter move. And then if it's a double, I don't think anybody is looking at us. And they're still gunning for the boys. And the boys will take the shot the other way. If they win, they will not come after us if we say, look, we're not saying your names. And then after the double, it's open season if they're still around. I feel like
Alright, so where's that plan for this week?
This week.
Next week, if it's... Because we're still not sure if it's going to be a double the following week. If one of us gets the first, say it is a double. If one of us gets the first HOH up next week.
The boys.
Then we do boys.
And they don't have any numbers to help them. Beth would be gone.
Okay.
Who is going to campaign hard to keep either one of them? One would for sure go. If we strike two...
I like that idea for this week.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't want to extend it past this week.
No.
I don't think we can afford to.
No. But I feel like there is a risk. If you put the two boys up now, who do you put up as the replacement nominee? Could there be a flip? You have to dismantle their numbers so that when we take the shot, it ends, and so we can choose. I feel like somebody like Ty could be powerful for us, or if you have a good relationship with Jensen.
Yeah, I'm working on Jensen.
We have to make sure that whichever one stays isn't coming hard for us. We've got to deflect. And we can always remain with the other people wanted us to put you up. We told you we wouldn't. And if it's a backdoor situation, who cares?
So what do you do in this scenario where, so we're bringing Beth up.
And this, don't even tell Kiefer. Tell no one. No. Don't tell Ro. Don't tell Kiefer. No one needs to know about this. Because if Beth catches wind, because I've heard that Beth doesn't want want to win this HOH. I've heard that she wants to throw
I
it.
asked her this morning, I said, how do you feel about the next HOH? And she said, oh, you gotta come for it though, you gotta come for it. But it didn't come across as...
No, and she's honestly, she might be more dangerous than the boys.
So what do you do in the scenario? Okay, so that's that side covered. The other side, Ro, Brayden, like, even Kiefer is kind of...
The plan is if you
they're
get,
gonna want
the plan is gun for the veto, take off Brayden, and I put up a boy.
Door. So we'll just tell them it's a back
to
door.
ensure which one. Because then, yeah, I would just say, look, it's too risky to like, because they do have numbers. If Beth thinks she has Brayden, we can't ignore that. I know Ro thinks he has him more.
No,
but you can't ignore that, and I would say that to Ro.
Once Austin goes, he's going to start really connecting and hanging around with Beth more.
And that's what I would say to Ro. I'd be like, worst case scenario, Beth is gone. You know you have Brayden now. There's nobody else to even consider. Yeah. And now we have more numbers. And everybody's looking at the boys at that point. And best case scenario, if one comes off, you can choose. But if one, like if either like Jedson or Ty win the veto, they're not going to take Beth off and sacrifice the other one.
No.
They won't. And I honestly don't know who's more dangerous. Like Beth is playing all sides, like she's even playing us. Like I would be open to working with her, but I don't trust her.
No.
You should have seen the other day when I came in here. Austin had pulled her aside. She was crying with Austin. Crying with her. And then to us, she's like, forget her, she's gotta go.
Yeah, no, that's switch up.
It's kind of like, as long as like it's one of those three that goes, it's more about how do you manage the other two.
Yeah.
And I think for us, that's the best play to manage afterwards. Because if you take a shot, you put both those guys up, and neither one go, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get one. Okay, so what about if Brayden wins?
Perfect.
Wins it, but then a guy goes up against Beth. There could be a split. Or
the guy will go. I think the guy would go. Everybody's been dying to make the shot. I still think the guy would go.
Because people...
Or Beth would go.
People,
who cares?
But then if Beth goes, then you got the two pissed off guys.
Well, I'll be like, that wasn't my plan. I made a deal with Ro. This is what I would say to them. I made a deal with Ro. If he didn't use that power veto, that I would not touch him the next week. I made a deal to secure myself. That's what I would say.
Okay, so I would hate to say that I didn't know about that deal.
Yeah, I'd be like...
Because if I'm pitching to them that I feel that you're not going for the guys, or blah, 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 like it gets us out of the first one.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to say that I didn't know about it.
No, for sure, for sure. And that's only, I would use it if I absolutely had to.
Yeah.
Because that didn't even happen. Do you know what I mean?
Which would help, yeah, okay, because if I'm pitching to them that I don't think you're going to put them up, and you win it,
because
then it's only Beth.
The boys are starting to look really sketch. I keep catching Jed outside of doors listening. He was for sure listening. He pays attention every time we're talking to Ro. Sorry, I'm picking my nose. Like he's sketched out, and if he's sketched out by us, he's putting us up.
He asked me this morning, first thing, how you and Tera feeling about next week now. So he's looking to see how comfortable we feel.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would...
No, if they ask, I'd say Brayden and Ro. But it would be Brayden and Beth, I think. Unless we're in that situation and we change our mind. But I know we can't focus on the double. But I do not want to make a big move that just sends one of us packing the following week. Because how would the other, like, even if worst case, like, it stays Beth and Brayden.
So Braden's up. You can't vote.
I don't think Kiefer would vote. What would Kiefer do?
I don't know if we'd have to.
Oh, crap.
Because Beth would be up. Braden would be up. You wouldn't get a vote. So that will only leave me, Ro, and I don't know where Vic and Kiefer would go.
Oh, no.
You can't
It would go to 3-3. I would have the tiebreaker. You think Vic is going to keep Beth over Braden? She can't stand Beth.
No, that's if it's a Beth Braden.
Yeah, if it's Beth
But
Braden.
if it's a guy and Beth.
Let those decide. I think they would take the guy. I think they would take the guy out. I think even Kiefer would take. People would be like, they've got to be split up. And either way, the only person like time, like say it was like.
Yeah, I think Keith is waiting for the move. I think he's waiting for one.
Always waiting for the move. But I feel like if you put up, say Beth and Jed, and then Ty wins and he takes down Jed, and then you have to put up somebody like her. It's just getting too messy.
Yeah.
We can obviously discuss it more. We still have to win. I have to win something.
Yeah, I have to win.
No, but before I was thinking, man, should I not win this? Should I trust that like somebody else will do the right thing? It's like, no, man.
You can't trust it at this point.
We've got to win. Not only do we have to win, we have always got to be smarter than them. We have to set ourselves up so that we can again go back into the shadows. If you just put both of them up and it doesn't hit,
Yeah.
we're toast. And then, worst case, say it stays Beth and Braden, okay? It stays Beth and Braden. Beth goes. There is such a high probability that the two guys would go up in the double. So everybody would make that shot on a double.
Yeah.
Everybody. Nobody would make the shot at me and you in a double if there were still two boys.
No, it was a good
And
point.
if they won and we didn't put them up, they're not making the shot at us.
We would hope not anyways, but yes, it's probably a
No
less
way.
likely situation.
You know those guys would be like, sacrifice Beth. They are closer to each other. And we could say, I kept my word. I told you I would not put you up. That's all. They care about stuff like that.
Yeah, they do.
But we would still have to win.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Because if Beth thinks that she's got Braden, then they have numbers. I know Ro thinks he has Braden, but he could be the swing. You gotta break up that connection at the very least. Best case scenario, you take out a bigger one. Worst case scenario, you break up that, bring the other one back in. Because if the guys aren't on the block and they get POV, they will not use it. If one of them's on the block, they're using it. If two of them are on the block, they're using it. And then that's when you got all these flip-flops all over. And you look like crap. If they're able to finagle it. Do you know what I mean? Like, say you put up the two boys. One comes down and you put up Beth. And then people vote out Beth. You're screwed.
Oh yeah, big time.
And
Because then you get the two guys pissed off.
And then it's actually kind of possible that people would maybe in that scenario. This damn double. You know what's coming.
I know.
You know what's coming. And if we can get past that, we can go to final three for sure. We have to get over that mountain. And then after that, it's kind of fair game to take shots whenever you want to.
Yeah.
After that, it is fair game. The numbers are done. Not to mention, it puts you in the good position in the jury with them.
Yeah, it does. Because two of them would at least be going to jail. Or so we think, anyway.
And at this point, I honestly don't know who's more of a threat to us. The two boys or Beth. I think Beth would say her name. Who else would she say if she won? Like, who do you think Beth would put up? She's not saying Brayden.
I mean, she says she'd say Brayden and Ro, but I don't believe that.
She's not saying Brayden. If she thinks she's got Brayden in her back pocket, she's not saying Brayden.
I still think they're going to try and split our pair.
I don't know. Maybe. I actually think...
I think Beth would actually probably put either myself or you against Rob.
Oh, that's what I mean. I don't think the guys would. The guys know they can beat us. The guy's target would be Ro. I don't think it would be us. And we can't tell Vic either. Can't say anything.
No, Vic's on a need-to-know basis. Or if you need to feed or something.
I'm only telling this to you.
Yeah.
And then if it comes to that decision, we can like revisit. But I thought of it this morning. Now I was like, I got to blow up. Get me in a speedy right now. I think I figured it out. We're the scheme team. The scheme team. The scheme team. Trying to survive 1 week at a time. We're the scheme team. Scheme team.
What is it with the dancing here this morning? Beth's off their fucking
Trying to survive 1 week at a time. No one wants to go out on a double. Not me. Not Blue Line.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We'll be back at 3 o'clock. We'll be redoing the show.
Oh, God.
I do